Hello everyone, Storm 101 here. Today we'll be taking a look to your severe weather forecast for Friday till the middle of next week. Now, we're going to get started with the GFS model, then we'll take a look into your Storm Prediction Center's outlook. But first, let's just take a look at the jet stream here, because this is going to be pretty important how this severe weather is going to pan out. So here we are already in Friday morning. We got a strong trough going on out in the west. And then you got your low developing up here, somewhere up here. And severe weather is going to pan out really for these areas here in particular. Here. And that low starts to push off to the northeast there. And I do apologize for the mowing in the background. I don't know if it will pick up, but I'm sure it will. So yeah. So here we go into Monday here. Kind of flattens out some. Seems like you guys some rounds of severe weather potentially for these areas here. Just gotta watch out for. Then the trough comes back even stronger too. Now we're going to watch later next week. So this is pretty much to Thursday night. Got a very strong trough there, probably bringing pretty way below average temperatures for portions of the west like Nevada, California, Utah, and Idaho, and maybe Montana, seeing pretty well below average temperatures. While we got a ridge going on out in the southeastern United States being pretty strong. So your low is going to track like this here. Pretty much. Here, lows follow the jet stream. It's what they do. You see here how strong that gets, and then there's some uncertainties after that. So then let's take a look into your dew points. That's going to be big thing from this system here. So here we go. We'll start off with Friday, your first day. So we got some decent dew points. Humidity will probably be another big thing. Closing near 70 for near Oklahoma City. So what it's looking to be is that the dew points has gone down some for Friday, so it kind of brings out your severe weather threat. Here is Saturday. Here, your severe weather pushes off to the east, more of into Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, maybe even Nebraska too, and Iowa. Some of these states here has got to keep an eye on. Saturday, we got some really good dew points. In the south, 75, pretty humid. There's a lot of moisture to deal with too as well. Then that starts to push off to the east near the Ohio Valley, starts to recharge. Back at the plains, got widespread dew points in 70s here, stretching from the Ohio Valley back down into the southern plains, portions of the Dixie Alley area. That really does hang on. And here comes your next big system that we're going to watch here. There you go. You really tell here, this is going to be some big time systems here. And even potential for some severe weather outbreaks. Now let's go and take a look. Actually, you know what? Let's take a look at your EHI first, then we'll take a look at the supercell composite. So here's your EHI. You got some high values. This is Wednesday. 6.7 there. I don't think we're seeing any severe weather type on Wednesday for that area, if I'm correct. But pretty high though, I gotta say. Yeah, 10. That's pretty high. And here we go. There's Thursday night. And here's your pretty much your first day. This is going to be Friday night. Got a well defined cold front here, or dry line, developing here. See here, it's a pretty sharp cutoff. So somewhere along this boundary here is some supercells and or a squall line. Eventually, we'll start off to charge up supercells. Then when we get to the nighttime hours, those supercells starts to die down, and then it becomes a squall line pushing out to the east. Kind of dies out, then starts to recharge some. There is pretty much to Saturday. Here's Sunday. It looks like Sunday's going to be a wind down day for the most part. Start to recharge again. Here's Monday night. Got some high EHI values. Pretty widespread. And here's Tuesday here. Got some pretty good EHI values from the Ohio Valley around Pennsylvania. Back down into Oklahoma and Texas here. So that could be another big day. Then here comes Thursday. So I have some high values as well. Alright, now it's time to take a look at the supercell composite here. Like I said, probably not going to see much of any severe weather here. I'll just take a look at the SPC Outlook. They're not really showing any potential for severe weather for Wednesday. Here's Thursday night. There is a chance of severe weather for these areas here in particular. Right now it's at a marginal risk, so it's a little bit on the lower side. And here we go into pretty much your first day. We got, the winds are pretty strong, 108 knots. Has some very strong winds to deal with this. Again, a very sharp cutoff here. Let's take a look at the forecast earnings on Friday. This video may be a little bit long because there's a lot of days to really watch here. So here you go. It's a little bit of a weak tornado is what it seems here. I don't think we're not going to see any significant tornadoes on a few of these days here. I think it's going to be a little bit on the lower side. So your equinox is pretty high, so that kind of increases your hail potential. So very high clouds. Your LFC, LCL is a little bit higher. Don't have much of any strong winds except for mid-level. So some strong winds there, mid-level winds. Then here you go into your Saturday, more of Saturday night. There's a pocket of a 10 in portions of Missouri. There's another pocket back into Oklahoma. I think we're going to see a lot of changes into the SPC Outlook for sure. I'll show y'all in a moment. And here we go into your Sunday here. It's kind of pretty widespread here actually, but it's a low end threat. Guys, threat for severe weather, force of the Great Lakes, Midwest, back into Texas potentially. Then it starts to recharge. And here you go here. And this is when things start to get active. So this is pretty much Monday night here. Saw a 13. There it is. A 13. That's on the Oklahoma-Kansas state line. Let's take a look at the forecast sounding of that. So your equinox is pretty high. Your LFC, LCL is a little bit low. Your potential Hester type is a tornado. We got pretty good shear. It's about 40. We got K values at the surface of about 2,800. We do have some strong mid-level winds. So that really does increase. This is pretty widespread too. So what we might be able to see is SPC outlooks to be pretty widespread later into the outlook here. Pretty similar situation here. Your equinox is higher, but weaker low-level winds. So here's the thing. We may get to see some supercells, but your tornado threat, it's going to be a little bit on the lower side. My prediction is for most of these days here, your tornado threat is going to be lower than the others. I think large hail will take the lead of all of these days here. Damage to wind should be your secondary threat. Your tornado threat is also going to be there, but it's kind of on the below the medium side. of a threat. Then that starts to push off into the east. Here's Tuesday. We actually got some pretty high values in southern Indiana and western Kentucky here. Take a look into that. Tuesday could be another big day. And we got a PDS tornado potential here. And yes, we actually do have some pretty strong low-level, mid-level, and a little bit of high-level winds. Your shear is at 34. Your K values is a little over 3,000. We even have some large hail threat as well. Your equinox is actually pretty high. So that could be a day to watch, Tuesday. Then that starts to push off, starts to recharge again. And here you go. There's a freaking 20. Holy crap. And then this is when some uncertainties start to... Okay, that's not right. That is definitely not right. Let's try that again. I don't think it clicked on the wrong one. There we go. That's what I was saying. That's not right. So we got some pretty strong low-level, mid-level winds. Your LCO is pretty good. Your equinox is pretty high. Got some high K values, 3,600. Your shear is at 36. And your potential hazard types is a tornado. So yeah, can't show y'all the significant tornado composite. So yeah, now let's go ahead and go into some of the fun stuff. Let's take a look at Friday. Here's your K values. Your prompt test severe weather is at 5 o'clock. Here, you see Dodge City is close to 3,000. Omaha, Des Moines. My dog's barking. That's great. 3,500 in Omaha. 3,400 in Des Moines. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Probably didn't. 2,600 in Kansas. Now 1,700 in Grand Island. That's probably from one of your storms, probably cooling down the atmosphere. That's pretty much why there's a little bit of a cool pocket there. Your Cape shear values here, pretty low. Your wind shear, pretty low. Your lifting index, pretty high. Up around Omaha and Des Moines there. Dodge City is also at -8. Your helicity is on the low end side. So tornado threat has gone down on Friday, which is some good news. But the large hail and damaging winds are there. Let's take a look into your Saturday. We got some pretty good values in Oklahoma. Let's go back up the ladder. Let's take a look to your lifting index, pretty high around Oklahoma City with a -8. Tulsa is at a -7. Your wind speed is actually pretty decent. You're in 20s, got some teens there, high teens there in Oklahoma. Your Cape and shears, really, for tornado threat to be a little bit higher, you just need over 1,000, which Oklahoma is over 1,000. So there is some tornado potential on Saturday. Here's your Cape. 2,400, 2,000 in Tulsa. So yeah, that could be a pretty good day. Here we go into your Sunday here. It starts to push off into the east. Paducah, 2,700. Evansville, 1,900. Memphis, 2,500. Nashville, 2,000 there. And Harrisburg looks to be 2,400. And your Cape and shear, looking to be on the low end side. Got some of a little bit of a higher amount near St. Louis, but it is away from your ingredient area. Your wind shear, pretty low. Your lifting index, a little bit on the high side. Helicity is there. We got some decent helicity around. Louisville's 130. Indianapolis is 210. Cincinnati is 140. Evansville is 130. Now, so there is some potential for a tornado threat there, but your main threat is going to be a large hail damage winds on Sunday. Mainly for elected to be Tennessee, Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky. There, not so much for Missouri. So we may get to see that push off a little bit further to the east. Let's look into your Monday here. We start to go back here into the west, a little bit into the west, into the plains. It's back this way. Got some pretty good holicity values there. It really does increase. Your tornado threat, Tulsa at a negative 14. So very strong lift. Your wind shear here got some pretty good values. Dodge City at 36, Wichita 19, Oklahoma City and Tulsa 22. Same thing for Springfield. Dallas is at 20. So right on your boundary for severe weather is really on kind of your severe weather boundaries. Really, Oklahoma, Tulsa, and Springfield, probably Wichita as well. It's looking to be your severe weather boundary for Monday. Your Cape of Shear is pretty high. Around Tulsa is 1,570. Oklahoma City 1,420. Dallas is at 1,260. Shreveport, which is a little bit out of the severe weather area, but it's a little over 1,000. Little Rock 860. Wichita 640. There. Pretty high values. Let's take a look at your Cape values. Very high. Tulsa 4,600. Oklahoma City 4,400. Dallas 3,800. Wichita a little bit on the low side, 1,200. Same for Kansas City 1,400. There. And Memphis is 2,800, but that's out of the severe weather region watch. Tuesday moves slower though. Oklahoma City, 3,300. Tulsa, 3,100. Trying to make this go by quick to make this not that long. Got some very high Cape Shear values. 1,700 for Tulsa. Wichita, 1,750. Oklahoma City, 1,640. We got some even higher values a little bit farther to the east, like Paducah, 1,550. Evansville, a little over 1,000 there. Nashville, 1,160. Springfield, 1,300. Kansas City is 1,120. With St. Louis, 1,210. So pretty high values there. Let's take a look at your wind shear here. Pretty high values. St. Louis has got a pretty high 36. Springfield, 32. Tulsa, 29. Oklahoma City, 30, Wichita 34, and Kansas City with a 30. So we got some pretty good values of wind shear there. Let's take a look at your lifting index here. So we got pretty high values out ahead of us. Like Nashville's at -9. Dodge City is also at -9. Oklahoma City at -7. -8 for Tulsa, and -6 for Springfield. And your helicity. Let's see here. We got some pretty high values around St. Louis, Springfield, Little Rock. So yeah, your tornado potential is actually a little bit higher, actually out ahead of this here, like Little Rock, Springfield, St. Louis, Evansville, Paducah, and Tulsa. Those cities gotta watch out for Tuesday. How about let's move into Wednesday here. So it's got some decent values around Central Kentucky. We have 160 at Louisville, 150 at Harrisburg. Oklahoma City got 150. Let's take a look at your lifting index here. Seems like it kind of starts to be stationary here on Wednesday. With Oklahoma City at -11. Tulsa at -10. While -8 out east. Your wind shear here start to pull away, but we do have some lower 20s and high teens, but it's not really good enough. But we do have some decent Cape Shear values around Oklahoma City, pretty high values in the Ohio Valley region. Let's take a look at your Cape. Very high in Oklahoma City with nearly 5,000. Tulsa, 4,200. Out into the east, Harrisburg, 3,900. Paducah, 3,200. 3,400 for Evansville, and 3,600 for Louisville. So the tornado threat, your best chance of it is looking to be just around the Ohio Valley. Not really much around the Little Rock area. And there's also another area of risk over into Oklahoma and Kansas and Missouri. There. Now let's take them to your SPC Outlet. This is the last thing I'll just show you. So here we go. Day 4. We already got an enhanced risk. I'm expecting this to change by looking at recent models there. Well, I'm expecting all these states to kind of look different. And now when I think about it, I think this here will probably stay the same. The only change is that marginal risk will be added in here because it'll be day 3 tomorrow. So we got an enhanced risk for portions of Texas Panhandle moving through Oklahoma, Kansas into Nebraska. Day 5 starts to push off to the east, got a slight risk there. Day 6 gets smaller, but does continue to push into the east. I'm expecting this to be pushed a little bit more to the east for tomorrow. Day 7, it still keeps on going. New system develops. You got 50% for portions of Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska. Same those areas. And here we go to day 8. Still there. Kind of stays stationary. Now, what I've learned from social media, this is the first time this has ever happened on a 4 to 8 day outlook. A slight risk or higher on all 4 to 8 days. That's very rare. But what they said, though, in here, says the strong southwest flow off is forecast to remain over the plains beyond day 8, suggesting continued threat of severe. That tells me that tomorrow, day 8, will probably be in a slight risk for somewhere out in these areas here. And this is very rare occurrence. This is also continuing into the middle of next week. So this is Tuesday here. That's how far this is going to go out. We are Tuesday today. Well, that's next Tuesday today. That's what I meant to say. So yeah, we're going to have to be careful. But I will go ahead and quickly show you the areas that's going to watch is on my forecast standards here. So we'll look for a large area here. You know what? It's way too big. Let's make this a little smaller. I'll make 2 areas. To show up well, your red is possible. Black is the area that probably has the greatest threat. So your red is actually the possible area. So there's your possible area right in there. And here we go. I'm going to get my black out. So this is what I'm suggesting for the greatest area of severe weather in the black. There. Your red is the possible area. Your black is probably your greatest threat. Is in the black. So this is all good for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoy the severe weather update. I understand it was probably a long one. I'll find out whenever I get finished with this video. If you do like this video, hit the like button. If you really like my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification. If you got any questions about this severe weather event, go in the comment section down below. And I almost forgot about something. Now, this week here, I'm going to have finals starting tomorrow into Friday. Friday is my last day of school. I will have an early release at 1:30. So I'm probably able to do a severe weather update on Friday. Probably not able to in the next couple days due to finals. So yeah. So I'm not going to have any videos uploaded starting tomorrow into Thursday. Probably expect a video a little bit early in the day on Friday. I'll make an update on severe weather. If something really changes up, I'll probably post something about it on Twitter. If you haven't done it already, follow. I do have a Twitter account. It's the same thing. Store 10101. Same shelf cloud. Pretty much the same everything, basically. So yeah, if you search that up, be sure to follow me. I'll have some updates there. That's also I'm pretty active during some severe weather days.